Well, today we're going to do a Bible journaling entry on Love Bank. And if you probably read my description, you probably were like, what the heck? Well, that's kind of what I was when my pastor started preaching about it a couple of weeks ago, and then I came home and as he talked and explained it, it made so much sense that it's like we all have a love bank, basically our soul, I guess you could say, and it's like having I thought this afternoon, it's like having a joint bank account, and you both have to make deposits in it. And I know sometimes we're both going to make withdrawals, but you have to make more deposits than you're making a withdrawal. And so today I did this little template for this cute little pig. And then I had, instead of coins going into the piggy bank, I have hearts going in. And you can write, because it's Valentine's Day, I thought about those conversation hearts. And so that just kind of led me to doing this page. And you can put anything you want to on these hearts. But I started thinking about that being present, we're putting a deposit into our account and to our whoever we're with, their account as well. And just like with 1 Corinthians 13, love is patient, love is kind, love never fails. All those things are things that we need to remember in showing our love, not only to our spouse, our family, our friends, neighbors, but to strangers as well, and to not judge them for maybe what they look like or what they smell like or anything else. And then I just thought about the withdrawals that we do, is discouraging words we give to someone and putting our needs before their needs, or maybe just really not listening to what they have to say. You know, there's a difference between hearing and listening. And if you're like I'm always telling my husband that he's good at hearing or listening, but not really good at hearing. Any other wife feel that way? And then, of course, just kind of turning away from someone, basically ignoring them. I didn't think of that word when I was doing this. Ignoring them. So I'm just going to use my watercolors today. This is just a set. It's Caran d'Arche. I don't know. Anyway, it's a set of watercolors. I was going to do acrylics, and then I just decided watercolors might be a little bit easier. And so I'm going to bend you down, and we're going to get started painting, okay? We're going to paint this cute little pig. I am going to paint him pink. If you want a purple pig, you paint yours purple. I had a girlfriend in elementary school, and one time she colored her elephant, I think green or something, and I was like, why did you do that? It's supposed to be gray or whatever color. And she was like, it's my elephant, I can paint it any color I want to. And it was like, oh, okay. So no judging here. Whatever color you want is fine. And I think I'm going to have a hard time getting some pink. I have this white. This is called gouache. And if you use it with your watercolor, it makes it a little less transparent, but it will make it lighter, the color that you want, by adding white. Like if you added white to black, you get gray, kind of those things. So let's see how that works. And I'm sorry you can't see what I'm doing. It's off of camera. Let me do this. See, I added this white gouache to this color right here, which is magenta. And I'm getting this nice pink color because I don't have a pink in my palette. Okay, so we're going to give this little piggy a coat of pink. And see, it's a little bit more opaque than just regular watercolor because I've added that gouache to it. It's almost like adding, I guess, acrylic. I'm not exactly sure what gouache is. I guess I really should find out. I just know it makes things white. A little bit lighter. It was one of the examples that our pastor used is if you've ever, say you could be with your spouse, you could be with a friend, it really doesn't matter who you're with, but say you're at your house and you're into this really intense mystery movie, and all of a sudden your husband or friend gets a phone call, and it's right at this real intense moment of the movie, and man, you're just a little put off for the fact that this person that's with you is taking this phone call. I mean, why would they do that? You need to find out what's going to happen. Well, then you find out that the person got bad news on the phone call. But instead of saying, oh, let's turn off the movie and talk about it, you respond with, let's finish watching the movie and then you can tell me all about it. Well, that's withdrawing, turning away from someone instead of showing them the love that you have for them and making them feel important. You're actually making them feel not of value. And so that is what this love bank, if you will, or even this scripture is talking about. Giving the other person a sense of value and showing them that they are important. Now, if you'll notice, I'm kind of leaving some spaces here. Ooh, got shaky right there. Well, that's because I want to add a little bit of a darker pink to this. And I'm going to take my dryer here and dry it out. Okay, so this is going to sound kind of strange, but I'm going to add a little bit of brown to my pink because I don't want it to be, I don't want it to go into like this hot magenta color. I really just want it to be a little bit browner. I'm still not certain that that's the color that I want. Maybe add a little red. I just want it to be enough that you can see the difference. Ooh, now I got too much. It's always the trouble. Okay. Mix a little more brown with this, and then maybe we'll have the color. Yeah, that's a little better. Okay. What I'm going to do is just kind of go around these spots. Ah, looky there. I already made a mess, didn't I? I may have to add another heart right there, up there at the top. You can always fix it. Yep, there's going to have to be another heart up there. That's okay. We'll put in another heart. You can always fix your mistakes. That's what you need to do. Okay, so I'm going to add just a little bit of this to give it some shadow here on this side of its ear. Maybe a little too thick. Where's my paper towel? I have a paper towel. Here it is. I need to wipe some of this off. There we go. I'm going to do the same to this other ear. And then around the snout, this would be the side of the snout that you would be seeing. so that it makes it not look quite so flat. And then if you'll notice in the drawing, I kind of did it backwards, but that's okay. There's some darker spots like there, and so I'm going to kind of add those a little bit on top. That's kind of the way that it is on your sheet. Now I'm going to get some of that out and kind of blend it in a little bit. And what I meant by getting some of it out was getting some of the paint out. And so it's now mostly just water. But you're just kind of blending that in. And maybe a little cheek here. I don't know. Like I said, this is your pig. You make it as cute as you want to. I'm just going to give him a little more dimension maybe there. Kind of dry it off a little bit. And maybe give a little bit more on his hoofs, I guess would be what they are. All right. So here is the start of my piggy bank. The only thing I forgot to do before I emptied out my pink, you're probably sitting here going, Carol, you forgot the tail, you forgot the tail. I forgot the tail. So let me give him a little tail. That's, to me, the cutest part of the pig is their little tails. All right. So other than the eyes, of which I'm going to do maybe a little bit more of the brown instead of doing black, so it's not quite so harsh, I think I'll just do these in brown. I need a little darker than that. I guess it's a little more chocolate. And if you wanted yours, you know, you could do yours with a little bow tie, or just whatever you want. Like I said, this is your pig. You do it how you want. And anyway, have you had someone really hurt your feelings? And like I said, although you've forgiven them, you can still remember what that person said. And if you're like me, I can still remember the instance that it was said. And sometimes I think people say things that they don't really realize that they're saying. But words do hurt, don't they? Let's see if I can get a little bit lighter right there. That's like that devotional that we did a couple of weeks ago on taming the tongue. Okay, I think my pig is done. That took us all of 15 minutes. Of course, I had already drawn it. And the only thing the way that I drew it is and I'm sorry, I just was so ready to get into this devotional that I didn't even explain it. I just put my page up underneath it, and then I just traced around all of the edges, and then that was it. So now I'm going to paint my hearts the way that you normally see them, kind of the bright. I have no spot left. Hold on a second. I know this really isn't going to work very well, but let me get a little bit. I need to clean off my tablet here. My palette on my brush set. I can't think, speak, and everything else all at the same time. So I'm going to do one of those, and I'm going to do one down here. Okay, so let's see here. I wonder if, see, I'm wanting more of this for it. So maybe that's all that I need is that right there. So we're going to go for it. We're just going to do this whole thing gray. Oh, see, that's much better. I just wanted to give it a little bit of a color, not a lot. I got a little bit of green right there, but that's okay. All right, where is, let's see if we can get this page finished. And all I'm doing is using this extra little watered down part over here so that I'm not really dipping my brush back into the palette over on the other side. I think I may put Love Bank on my piggy and then use the words from the devotional that says, like any bank, any financial bank account, we need to make more deposits than withdrawals. Deposits are actions like spending quality time together, offering praise, and not expecting anything in return. A physical touch like a hug, cuddling, pats on the back, or even maybe a little hand holding. Letting the other person know that they come first, that they're the most important thing. And then doing small gestures that lets the other person know that you are thinking about them. So here's our cute little pig. And then, like I said, I'm going to put Love Bank right here and then write a prayer here that says, Lord, help me to make deposits in my life and in other people's life by spending quality time, offering praise, giving a touch, or maybe even a smile, letting the other person know they come first, and then doing small gestures that lets that person know they're important.